What's a sign that someone is much smarter than they let on? They never have to tell you. They're good problem solvers and are always asking questions. I used to know a guy that was very smart, and whenever he said I could be wrong, but he was 100 positive and 100 correct. The ability to explain complex things in simple terms. They don't seem to care about being perceived as smart. Not embarrassed to admit they don't understand something. I agree with most of the replies here, but I'll add my 2 cents. I think people who meet you on your wavelength are smarter than most. They can talk about pretty much anything, with anyone. They'll shoot the shit with some people, discuss politics with others, listen as well as talk, ask questions, but also will take time to explain things if they're asked. The ability to explain advanced topics in a simple way to where a person who doesn't understand it will get at least a rudimentary comprehension of it. Understanding that there are many things they don't understand and so won't be shy about asking questions or saying upfront they don't know something. Listening more than they speak. Not being particularly interested in if people think they're smart or not. Those are generally the 4 most obvious tells IMO. They're very observant, sometimes reserved. They play the part other people think they should. Knew a dude in the military who I thought was legitimately dumb as a rock until I hung out with him and had a conversation. Told me he just played the stupid private part to get out of any bullshit. I've seen a guy say the wrong thing on purpose then wink at me cause he knew I knew, then all hell broke loose in our meeting of people debating it. A quick, sly, witty response to a current point of conversation or action that is in reference to something that you thought went over their head 2 hours ago. Family friend married a man like that. I thought he was a dopey at first, lovable as hell and the sweetest guy, but dopey. Dear God, I was wrong. He might quietly be the smartest person in any room he's in. It takes a genius to know when not to talk and when to roast you alive with a single sentence. Listen to them explain something complex to a child. When you're smart you can make things easy. The smartest people I know have the simplest way of talking because they know what they are talking about and want everyone to understand. I'm only here so I can replicate these actions. The ability to consider another person's point of view. Choosing not to argue with someone who's wrong and choosing their own peace of mind over being right. I have a friend like this. He's an engineer and is constantly asking questions and then listening intently to the response, researching, and fact-checking even himself. I've heard him actually say that he hates not knowing the correct information about pretty much everything. I've played trivia with the guy and he is a powerhouse. Someone who can understand someone's opposing view without having to agree with it or get angry over it. They accept every situation, they ask much more than they say, pure curiosity every day about every situation. Very quick wit. Not at all interested in proving how smart they are. They are open to changing opinions in the face of new evidence. They don't quickly judge others' intelligence, they are willing to admit when they are wrong. Understanding you can't possibly know everything and that there are millions of others likely smarter than you, more knowledgeable about certain things. Knowing when to be quiet. Which is more often than you think. A monocle. Duh. Playing dumb to avoid annoying people and annoying tasks. ITT Redditors describing themselves. They listen more than they talk. Not so much for hiding intelligence, but smart people ask better questions. They look to the camera and tap their temple a few times. They're good at explaining hard concepts. They're very good at problem solving. Even if it's something they have no experience with, they always approach the problem from the right angle. They let all the stupid people speak instead. Curiosity. For me, there are 2 major signs. 1. They're good with their grammar. 2. They understand subtlety and humor. Very intent listeners are aware of what they know versus what they don't, prefer to speak on things they know, and listen on things they don't. If they say I don't know enough about that to have an opinion. Strong listeners, they don't butt into conversations when it's unwarranted. The old saying, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. If somebody does a lot of things that make no sense to you, and it consistently works for them, it's safe to assume they simply understand a lot of stuff that you don't. My husband is incredibly intelligent. He's a tinkerer, bilingual, but most of all, kind of an asshole lol, and he has a very dry sense of humor. I've noticed a trend in smart people, and that is they always have this weird, dry sense of humor. Maybe they crack a lot of dark jokes. Quick-witted one-liners. When I was in college, someone asked my psychology teacher this question. He said that people who are intelligent aren't always the ones with degrees and success. He said they are actually the witty ones with a sharp sense of humor. He always stressed that IQ tests were meaningless for a large portion of the population. Sense of humor. They quietly, but correctly, use a semicolon. Humility. Cursing. Look it up, motherfuckers, it's true. They don't argue with stupid people. They often won't answer with certainty unless they are damn certain. Damn certain is a scientifically approved metric of certainty. In my experience, people who are kind are generally very smart. Being empathetic to most people. They won't be trying to convince you they are smart. I have met really intelligent people who will sometimes be genuinely surprised that something they knew was not standard, general knowledge. Vice versa, if anyone ever tries to convince you they are intelligent by referring to their IQ or standardized test score, take everything they say with a couple grains of salt. Smart people know when to play dumb. High awareness and attention to minute details. Everyone claims to have this, but most actually don't. Not panicking when issues arise, as they instead go into solve mode. You can tell the gears are turning. When person changes their personality depending on the people they discuss with. They can be total clown while talking with their close friends, then become super intelligent while talking with professor, etc. They know how and when to hide it to fit in. They aren't always trying to look like smartest person in the room, especially in situations where that could make them a target. They know how and when to use it to their advantage. They know when they might be wrong and communicate the lack of certainty. They learn quickly and are good at adjusting to new surroundings, people if they need to. The smart ones are quiet about it. When someone can say a lot with a little. They want to be right often, so that when they are wrong, they willingly change their minds. Not generalizing about unpredictable nuances on a Reddit post. I worked with this guy for a few years and I legit couldn't figure out if the guy was a few cans short or a closet genius. He had this whole Midwestern yokel shtick, but claimed he used to work in military intelligence. He didn't have a crazy over-the-top job where we were, and seemed to have a very average life. But every once in a while this guy would let some Mensa shit slip through. They don't say much, but when they do, it's either funny or a well-thought-out question. Can be very in tune with animals. I don't mean likes animals or even animals like them. I mean being able to interpret the gestures, general thought behavior patterns, and intent of animals, and being able to attempt communicating in a way that is actually geared towards that kind of animal's understanding to whatever degree possible. I've never tried explaining it out loud, so that's clear as mud. But hopefully the idea comes through. When they pretend to be very bad at something so nobody asks them to do it again. When someone says something stupid and they keep their mouth shut and just let them continue to be stupid. They let everyone think they are right even if they know they are wrong, and or very gently guide the conversation to the correct answer with strategic questions that help them realize the correct answer. Pretending to be dumb ignorant for fun. I've observed that really smart people tend to be fascinated by the world in general. They are excited about their own areas of expertise, and learning and exploring more. Dumb people like complexity. Smart people like simplicity. Wise people avoid people.